What is going on? It is yours truly back to you with another coach interview for the Duelist Pokemon League Season 8. I am here with the other, much more successful DPL original Lightshaver Constellation, the three-time season champion, Season 1, Season 2, and I believe Season 6?
Yes, season 6.
Season 6. The one season I was not here for. Yep, his team consists of Tornadus, Therian, Zygarde, Blissey, Ferrith. Oh, no.
Wait, that's
That is Piplup's
Piplup's
team. Wrong one. His team actually consists of Starmie, Arcanine, Florges, Haxorus, Mamoswine, Raikou, Zoroark, Aerodactyl, Virizion, Garbodor, and Mega Aggron. Lightshaver Constellation, the man of 14 Mons every season. Obviously you're a fan of obviously you're a fan of Mons that you're much more comfortable with. I mean, don't fix what ain't broke, right? But what else were you thinking going into this season? What was your general game plan? Because your first two picks weren't technically things I'd consider a round 1 pick, but your tier 1 pick actually was until the very end, round 11. So just talk to me, what was your game plan going into this draft with your draft position?
Well, my game plan for the very start was to go Stormy, Mega Arrow. Those was the 2 mods I wanted to build around. And I needed an electric immunity, which is my ground type, and I wanted a good electric type that I could switch in to electric moves because they both share a weakness of electric. And the question really became what to pick first because we wouldn't draft Stormy as an A pick. So I felt I didn't have to worry about Stormy, and people sleep on Mega Aerodactyl, so I also didn't have to take that first. And I didn't want another A, so the question really became what to take first. Obvious answer.
So you said Mega Aerodactyl, however, that ended up going undrafted. You ended up picking up regular Aerodactyl, and then you just stuck with Mega Aggron. Why was that?
Only my steel type when I was planning for Mega Aerodactyl was Fortress, and on round 5, Bidoof picked Fortress, and then I kind of felt I was in a bind because the steel types that I was looking at was Escavalier and Registeel. And I like Escavalier a lot, but I wanted my steel type to have hazards. Registeel was alright, but I wanted a better steel type than that.
Gotcha.
I went Mega Aggron.
Yeah, no, Mega Aggron is certainly definitely an underrated Mega. Not particularly here, but just in general, Mega Aggron, a very underrated Mega. You were also one of the few people that switched spots. You switched with S-Tier. It wasn't too big of a swap. It was 6th and 8th place. In hindsight, would you have kept your 6th place, or are you perfectly happy with your 8th spot in draft?
I'm perfectly fine with my 8th spot because the reason why I wanted to change spots was such, even though it was such a small swap, was Aaron and Zephyros, I would have a higher chance of it getting around to my pick, and a mon that I was thinking of taking would be taken just before my pick. And I would like to know, like, further away, was that going to happen?
Mm.
Enough, I also still got sniped by Zephyros. Anyway.
What was your snipe? What was that snipe? I don't recall.
He took Crocodile, which I actually wanted instead of Mamoswine.
Ah, that's right. So you were forced to pick up Zoroark for the 5th season in a row.
He was going to go Drapion because that was when I was still thinking Mega Aerodactyl, but I ended up going Zoroark because Fortress was taken and I still needed a seed.
Yeah, no, Zoroark ended up fitting in pretty well. Your speed tiers are actually really good. Your Mega Aggro sits at the very bottom with 50, which in hindsight, maybe a slight issue, as Mons even slower than that are just free to bulk up as much as they possibly can. But other than that, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of breathing room. Because you have 70s, you have one base 80 Mon, and then you have a base 95, also another issue. But do you think that's going to be that much of an issue, speed tiers wise?
I'm not exactly sure if it will be. I potentially could have problems with Trick Room, but I only see one. Well, at the moment, I only see one team I have to worry about as far as Trick Room goes. But I have some options to play around with that. I could bring the Heat Cuss Aggron, or I could find some heat for that. I could just bring taunt users to stop the Trick Room. I could bring my own Trick Room to cancel out the Trick Room.
You can't Trick Room me. I'll Trick Room you.
Yes, exactly. I'll Trick Room your Trick Room and make everything normal.
I'm not positive it works like that, but I've also never been in the situation to do that. So, obviously he's talking about Cyclone's team, the Honolulu Horses, the coach I just recently interviewed. Definitely a threatening team. I believe you face Cyclone. You face Cyclone week 4. Yes, so plenty of time and figured out a whole 3 weeks. As far as support goes, yeah, I see definitely a lot of good offensive mons, and I see a lot of good defensive mons. And you said you brought up taunt. You do have access to. You definitely have access to rocks. I think you have access. I know you have access to T spikes with Garbodor. I don't think you have access to regular spikes, and I don't think you have sticky webs either. You have Aerodactyl as your hazard removal, and that's about it. I know you weren't a big fan of hazards. You mind you've never been a huge fan of hazards. You mind elaborating on that a little bit? What kicked that off?
Do like hazards, but I feel like I don't need to have too many dead mons that primarily only want to get hazards up.
Fair.
There are quite a few hazard setters on this team. I have toxic spikes and spikes on Garbodor.
Garbodor has spikes too?
Yeah.
That would not be the first time I got a spike setter wrong. Let me. I thought Nihilego had freaking spikes. Turns out it didn't.
It has rocks and stealth rocks and toxic spikes.
Yeah, it has stealth rocks and toxic spikes. This one, Garbodor does have spikes. You are correct on that one. I don't have to do much more editing post-com, thank God.
And then I have rocks on Aerodactyl and I have rocks on Mamoswine because everyone's gonna switch out of Mamoswine. You get your rocks up for free because it's that threatening.
Because it's an Aerodactyl. Why? Any other support options you're looking at this season? Maybe screens, tailwinds. Any of those immediately pop up to mind as far as your game plan for this split?
Well, as far as screens go, I have Stormy, Raikou, Virizion. That's all dual screen users. Mamoswine is also a dual screen user.
Oh God, dual screen Mamoswine. Do it, I dare you.
I may, for all we know, I might bring some defensive dual screen Mamoswine.
Please do it. And when you do it against me week 3. No, actually I don't face you week 3. Excuse me. I face you week 5. Yeah, do it against me week 5 so I have much easier matchups. Thank you very much.
I can set up the reflector while you switch out the Mega Scizor.
Yeah, right.
I also have, I think, light screen on both Arcanine and Florges. I know I have it on Florges for sure, but I'm not sure about Arcanine. I have a screen on that, but I'm not sure which.
I think Arcanine is just reflect, or is it just light screen? If
it's just reflect, that would complement Florges well.
Yeah, it's just reflect because Entei has the same thing, just reflect. Yeah. Any any other support options I'm not thinking of that are on your game, that are on your mind?
Yeah, Doctor was my hazard removal, but I also have Stormy and Florges.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do have Starmie. You're one of the few teams that have Rapid Spin.
Yeah, I am. Even though I didn't drop Stormy primarily for Rapid Spin,
Right.
I actually have Rapid Spin.
You actually do
But I
have
only-
Rapid. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Starmie drafted ever, so you'll have to excuse me on that one. Definitely an interesting tier A mon, but you seem to like it, and it seems to suit you really well. It definitely a threatening team, and certainly a threatening player to look out for. You don't get to be 3-time champion being mediocre.
Not at all.
I don't have much question. I don't have any further questions regarding your team, but I do ask this with everybody. Least threatening team and most threatening team of the split.
Well, the least on the team is easy because I would probably say is Mewtwo, just because individually that he drafted are actually fine, but overall there's enough type weaknesses that you should be able to exploit his team reasonably well, and I believe I should be able to do that.
ZR9, you have a strong fire type. That triple steel type is going to be an issue for him.
I got a good fire type. I have a good ice type. I have a good ground type.
You gotta watch out for that Bronzong though. It may be levitate, it may be heat proof.
Bronzong's always a threat. Just because it's not the greatest offensively, it's still always a threat defensively.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then most threatening team.
So the other teams, even if I don't consider them the most threatening, I consider that it's at least going to be somewhat of a challenging game, unless to get ahead early or actually just outplay them. But Dr. Piplup's team is probably the team I'm most concerned with at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, that team was top tier threats, and I have to face this stupid thing week. That'll be nice. Definitely not looking forward to that.
Some of the mons you have, I actually know really well, like Tornadus, Forthorn.
Yeah.
Or
No.
Rotom Frost. Also, this is the first season since season 1 I haven't drafted a Rotom.
Oh yeah, that is true. You've drafted Rotom Frost quite a bit. I think you also drafted. I think you've drafted. Didn't you draft Rotom Fan? Yeah, I know you've drafted Rotom Heat a couple times. Didn't you also draft Rotom Fan once?
The Rotom Fan season 4.
Season 4, that's what it was. Season 4.
Yeah, this is also the only time I have an electric type that isn't immune to Earthquake.
Yeah, right. Nah, it's the. There's a reason there was definitely a reason I accidentally started reading off Pip's team. It does reek shades of Lightshaver.
It does. Round kind of well too, and I had Pythagoras at least twice, and I had Blitzy, of course, season 6.
Yeah, you sing Blissey. Jesus Christ. I can't believe you're there for that. I want to see that. I went back and saw it after I came back from my absence, but Jesus Christ. Oh Lord. Well, thank you for your time. This has definitely been an interesting interview. As far as people at YouTube go, I will catch you in the next video. Bye.